And we'll welcome in the Gadsden City Titans this afternoon. Coach Allie Smith, I believe 7 years now, 7th year coming up for the Titans. Coach, if you'd let the young men introduce themselves or you introduce them, then some opening comments from you, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, I have right to left, I have Mr. Zion Gibson, Tylen Sims, Keyshawn Curry, and Carson Ashley. I would like to say thank you guys on behalf of our school board, our superintendent, Mr. Keith Blackford, for you guys having us here, along with our principal, Mr. Joel Gutledge, and our entire staff. Thank you guys for what you do, continually supporting high school athletics. Is a big deal. I think, going back from when I started, you didn't get a chance to promote you guys the upcoming season like this. So I would like to just say to you guys, thank you guys for promoting this, and we're happy to be here.
Coach, coming out of the summer workouts and headed into preseason practice, I guess, next week, what would you say would be the strengths of this year's football team going into fall practice?
Well, I think the continuity of us being together, guys been here a while, this senior group, I wish I could have brought the whole group just being together. We about 6 years ago consolidated our middle school, and these guys have all stuck with that and been together throughout that.
Well, Coach, last year, had disappointing losses. One was to Fort Payne. Of course, they made a deep run in the playoffs. They had a great football team, and you had disappointment losing to Southside. Do you think this football team learned a lot from last year? I know injuries was a big part of that, but do you think this team learned a lot from that, and they don't want that kind of thing to happen again in this region?
Absolutely. I think if you come to our workouts starting in January all the way through now, through this morning, you will see that. I think that we learned a lot of our young kids to being ready when injuries do take place. We don't use those as excuses. We learn and we move forward. We're excited about the opportunities that we have coming up in the 2025 football season.
Coach, I remember doing your coach's show at Chick-fil-A when you first got there, and you were just searching for that first win. And I remember you looking at me and Reggie, and like, man, you guys don't leave me. Talk about the difference in those days when you was just fighting to get your first win there to what you have now, and what it's time over time. It's took a little while to get to this point, but now you guys have a totally different mindset, totally different football program.
Well, our kids, one of the big things is, going through at those times, we were losing kids and kind of different things, different factors, and right now our kids, the cornerstone of our program is our kids and our community. And that's where we at right now. So, and our kids expect to win, sometime in life when things are happening, ups and downs, you kind of second guess yourself. And I don't think our kids second guess themselves. And they understand, and you can go back through and watch and study film, and they understand what we didn't take care of our business, where we, took things for granted.
Coach, could you talk about your numbers going into the fall? You talked about a strong senior class. How many seniors, juniors? Talk about the numbers in your program right now. Are you happy with those?
Yeah, I think we are. We look at it, we don't like cutting anybody or anything like that, but we sitting at a little over 125. I think yesterday we had about 25 seniors take pictures. We got about 27 to 28 juniors. We had about 34 sophomores, and we got about 38 freshmen in our class, in that class right there. So, it's fluctuating, and we don't want to get rid of anyone, but it's, we got a good number of kids.
This is a question for the players. And guys, I've known Coach Smith for a long time. I don't know anybody that loves Gadsden City High School any more than that man does. Talk about the opportunity to play for him.
I feel like it's a really good opportunity to play for him. I mean, especially with him being the DB's coach, it's really an honor. Just taking in so much wisdom every day and getting to be up under him every day. So, really a great opportunity. I don't think there's a better opportunity in the state than to play under him.
Well, I feel like it's a really good opportunity to play with him. Like every day, just going to practice, getting better. Like he's a hard-working man. And I want to ask for no other coach to play for in high school. He make it easy knowing Coach Smith. He's like a father to all of us. he's a great guy to coach. Coach us, and it's fun playing for him.
I have a lot of respect for Coach Smith, and I always have, even before I got to high school. And I love playing for him because he shares the same passion for the game and the city that I feel like I do. And it just feels good to have that kind of coach around you.
Coach, when they look back through history and they combine 3 really good high schools to make this school, and you've been a big part of that, what's the difference, when you're coming up from Emma Sansom to what you see now at Gadsden City, but how special it is to have these 3 schools united like that?
Well, we talk to the kids about this all the time, and it's funny you say that. We're going into our 19th year. Next year be 20 years. We just talked to them about this on yesterday, and we were talking about us coming together, and so many of our former players come around, and we had some of our former players in last year, and they kind of got on our kids, and they really ride them. They ride them pretty hard. Guys that's played in the NFL, guys that's in college, they come around, and we got a little saying: once a Titan, always a Titan, and they stick to it. And so for us, coming from the 3 schools and combining them together, there's everybody still have their Emma Sansom, their Gadsden, their Litchfield, the love for those schools, and we won't lose that history. But we're making our own history, and we tell so many of our kids, think about this, just looking at the progress of our school system and what Mr. Blackwell and the central office is doing to help build up all our facilities and different things like that that's going up that wasn't there in 2006. And I think those kids throughout the years have all played a big part of that, and we look for the future to get better at that and then just build on that, and I think that it's a special time for our kids at Gadsden City. I tell them all the time, man, you can't find a better situation than what they have right there. I think what we talk about career and college ready, everybody's not going to college, but everybody can walk out of there with an opportunity to do something outside of football. And that's what I think that we bring and have there. That's what I think that make it special for our kids.
Well, Coach Smith, you talk about, I want to ask you for one thing, this 2-part question, but one thing is, what's the strengths of this football team going into this fall? And you talk about having 125 in numbers. That's actually a good problem to have because there's a lot of schools that are trying to get numbers up. You are, probably at a full allotment of players, but that just shows a lot of interest in your program. And also, that's a tribute to the community also.
The first part, go back to that first part of that question. I heard you about the community, the first part of your question.
The first part I want to ask about is what's the strength of this football team this fall?
The biggest thing that I think is our kids believing and our kids becoming one, being together and understanding and not taking anything for granted. So you look at it, when I say the strength of it, that's them coming in every day, doing what they supposed to and being with each other and letting no one come between what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build. We have enough players, but when you're talking about the strength, we're not worrying about X and O's right now. We're not worrying about who we playing. We're worrying about taking care of Gadsden City in 2025 and have an opportunity to play and compete.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Just coming into the year, you guys can start practice, I guess, this next week or the week after. Just what's one reason you're optimistic about this season?
Well, and I guess I said this in the opening, man. You get an opportunity. This August is season 28 for me. 1997 was my first year at Emma Sansom. And, the optimism for me is just having an opportunity to compete. And that's what we tell our kids, the excitement of high school football. All our kids, every day you get an opportunity to compete in everything you do. So that's what we show up for, and that's what we're looking for, to get a chance to compete.
And then Zion, you've been committed to Bama for, I guess, about 7 months now. Just what expectations do you have going into this season, trying to live up? Or do you feel like you need to live up to Alabama football commit, or do you just want to focus on maybe helping Gadsden City be the best team they can be this year?
You can repeat that?
Do you feel like you need, like on the field, do you feel like you need to kind of live up to being this Alabama football commit, or just play to whatever you need to do to help Gadsden City be the best team they can be?
Really, I'm just worried about the season right now. Like, getting to the blue map, getting through the playoffs, winning the region. I'm really focused on the season right now.
I'll ask the other players. Zion just commented, maybe team goals this year. And Zion, you may want to answer this too. Team goals and personal goals that you may have set for this year and this your senior year.
I'll start with team goals. I'll say our team goals are to just not get complacent and just know what the end goal is, but at the same time taking it 1 week at a time. So, I mean, that's the main goal. Of course, there are other smaller goals, but I won't go dive too deep into that. And as for personal goals, just really helping Gadsden City be the best that they can be, and just living up to the expectation that Coach Smith and the rest of the staff has held for this senior class all the way throughout high school. So that's really my team goal and personal goal.
Kind of like what Ty said, as a team goal, really just want to win the championship for Coach Smith and my teammates, my brothers. And as far as personal, really just catch every ball, score, and do whatever the team need for the win each and every week.
My team goal, pretty much every other team's goal, win a championship. But personally, I want to just be able to do whatever I can for my team and be a good leader so that the younger kids can be encouraged and develop and become good players even after I'm gone.
Coach, I'm going to ask you about, and when I say expectations, I'm not talking about wins and losses. I'm talking about your expectation of how you want this football team to play this fall.
What we're looking for them to do is compete at a high level every day. And this fall, we want, when you come and watch Gadsden City, you win, lose, or draw, you want to say those guys, they play hard. They compete. They locked in all the way through. We talk about the 4 aspects of the game in terms of offense, defense, special teams, and sideline management. We want our kids to be locked in everything that they do and be focused and play good, clean football and be at their top every week. And get themselves together on and off the field where their bodies can hold up.
Hey, Coach, how are you? We were there last year for the Southside game, and the environment was off the chain. We're coming back this year for your matchup with Fort Payne, which is a huge game for you from region standpoint. It just seems like maybe your place doesn't have the reputation of being one of the big Friday night places to go watch a football game. I don't know if maybe that's because the schools were all combined several years ago, but your place is pretty electric when it's a solid game.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I was going to allude to earlier. You think about it, Gadsden City is the youngest school in this county. When you talk about somebody being 19 years old, every other school has a lot of history. But I don't know, we've been in the equivalent of the Final Four at Gadsden City 3 times since we've been there in 09, 16, 14, and 16. It's a lot of schools that's been here 50 plus years and they hadn't had that opportunity. We tell our guys, our community come out and, we just now had a class that just had their 10-year reunion this past weekend, the class of 2015. So we didn't have a lot of alumni like a lot of other schools have, but our community do a good job of supporting our kids and getting behind them and do a good job of that. So, I think that most Friday nights and even throughout the week, sometimes we get a good crowd to even come and watch our kids practice and want to be a part of what we're doing. Sometimes we have to close practices just because of that. But at the other time, I think our community do a good job, and I think that the atmosphere is pretty good, and I think it's getting better on some ends.
Yeah, I want to wrap it up with one last question for the players. Guys, Coach Smith asked you to come to Media Day. So you're representing your team, you're representing your school, you're representing your town. Talk about what that means to you to be asked to come today.
It means a lot just because of how many seniors that we have, and Coach picked us to come out. So that just shows that he looks at us to be how do I say it? Just his most mature guy, his guys that he's gonna look at when he needs a play or something like that. So it just means a lot.
Just going off like what Ty said, like I feel like coach really has really high expectations out of all of us, the rest of the seniors, just to lead the group in the pack.
I feel very proud of myself because, like I said earlier, I love the team, love the city, I love the community, and I feel very grateful that I can represent it.
Grateful for Coach Smith giving us the opportunity to come represent the senior group and team, and him having faith in us and just bringing us out.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, Coach. Good luck to the Titans this year. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.